remember. Okay, so we'll line up. When you're ready, Sabadim. Annyeonghaseyo. All right. So let's have everybody come close to the camera, and I'll do a little explaining of Naihanji today, which is the theme. So Naihanji is it's an Okinawan form as well. That's the origins there, but it's very different from the Pyongan forms. And so we often associate the Japanese karate that came from Okinawa as being a very hard style, but there's many different flavors of Okinawan Tei out there. The Naihanji forms used to be called Naifanchu. Teki is the Japanese term for it, and then the Koreans use the Korean pronunciation of Naifanchu. I'm probably slaughtered that, but that's what it is. And the Japanese will call this the Iron Horse form. And so, you know, coming from the horse stance. And then some people also talk about defending a fortress. So you can kind of picture yourself in this fantasy world where you've got a castle behind you. I guess we're talking Europe here, but I don't know. This is how I heard about it. You got a castle behind and you're just trying to protect the castle gate. And so you're just moving side to side, defending yourself. Okay, so that's kind of that. Or you might be up against a wall and you're learning how to fight against a wall. That said, the applications that I usually think about with Naihanji are in 3 dimensions. So I don't stick with just those. What else about Naihanji? Let's talk about the character of the form. So we talked a little bit about this earlier this week, but the character here is, sorry, yeah. Okay. I found that we have a lurker and I tried emailing him to see who he was and he didn't respond. And so I'm not letting him participate today. So let's see. Where was I? So with Naihanji, we're doing the character. Sorry, I have to get back into this. So the character of Naihanji is it's very heavy. And so the stance is low, right? And you're in a kimajase. So usually we do this hagurip jase, which is the toes are bowed out. Notice how my head dropped. And then kimajase, I came up a little bit. The stance isn't any narrower or wider, but do you see how much wider Sagurip Jase looks? My heels didn't move. So you do a heel pivot, Sagurip Jase, heel pivot in, and that's Kima Jase. Okay, so the knees are bowed in along with the toes, and that facilitates all of you know the chitpalgi or the stomp kick, right? So you're breaking the foot coming down, okay? Breaking the foot here. The original name, the Koreans talk about Nebo Jin being the original name of Naihanji. Ne inside, bow step, and Jin advance. Okay, so anytime we move, we're going to move laterally in which is called Nebo Jin, inside step. Okay, so we'll never step to the outside. We'll always step to the inside. As we practice these 3 forms, there's 2 ways of stepping. There's a short step and there's a long step. The short step, you don't pivot the foot. Foot doesn't pivot, and you just take a short step, and then the weight stays on the supporting leg. Weight doesn't transfer. Okay, that's a short step. A long step, you'll pivot on the heel, pivot, step, and notice the weight transferred. Okay, so anytime we step, I'll talk about, okay, we're going to do a short step. We're going to do a long step. Okay, so those are the 2 there. Line is very important in Naihanji. Thinking about parallel lines. Think about Naihanji Chodan, the last technique here. So you want to think about parallel lines in this direction, parallel lines in this direction. Okay, really nice line. This motion, good line. Here and here. Okay, here. Notice this chamber hand is going towards the camera, not off to the side. Here, okay. Mr. Corrales, why don't you step off and you can have a seat so you can observe like the rest of you, so you're not just, let me make you more comfortable and you can have a seat. Okay, so thinking about line is very important. So your chest has to expand. Common mistake is as you come around, right? The elbow is going to come off to the side here. Make sure that you expand your chest so that elbow comes back. That's an item that I'm still working on. So you'll notice that for me, as I'm demonstrating, you may see my elbow poking out a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to call it for what it is. I'm working on this one at the moment. Okay, but that's an important distinction with the hyung, full expression of the movement. Because this is a negaryu hyung, okay, so negaryu, this is an interesting one. I'm going to give you my take on this. We call this a negaryu hyung, but in the traditional sense of negaryu, this form is still too hard. This form is not akin to Tai Chi Chuan, for example. Okay, so it's still a Wei-ga hyung, but it has many nega characteristics. Okay, so one is being heavy and deliberate in its movement. Okay, so very heavy in its nature, and then deliberate, right? So you want to think about the look, the step, very deliberate. Prepare. Okay, so it's hard. Oh, do you see my elbow sticking out? I just caught myself. Okay, very deliberate in the movement. Okay, so you're not going to run techniques together the same way that you would in maybe a Pyongan hyung. Okay, so that's what deliberate means. And then because of its inside house, you think about bringing the target to the weapon. Don't think about bringing the weapon to the target. That's an important distinction here. Okay, so you're going to want to shift and twist your mass into the target. You don't do that in Naihanji. You don't have the space for it. So this is in close, learning how to box and how to fight in very close range. So you're going to be using knees, you're going to be using elbows, okay, short techniques. So you don't create the distance, right? You don't have the distance to shift and twist your mass in the same way. So to compensate, you grab the target and pull the target into the weapon. Okay, that's a nega characteristic of the Naihanji forms. All right. Let's see, what else? Character of Naihanji. Kimajase, heavy. I think those are the basics. Any questions? Any thoughts before we get started? Okay, let's begin. We're going to go through Naihanji Chodan pretty quick. Let's see, do we have any Chodans here? So Miss Jones, you're Chodan. Okay, Mr. Coombs. Okay, and then Miss Gold, you are an Idan. Okay, so we're going to go, and Mr. Bogdanich. All right, so we're going to go through Naihanji Chodan quickly. Then we'll spend a little bit of time on Naihanji Idan, and then we'll do a breakout session, and everyone else will be working on Naihanji Samdan. All right, so Mr. Krause, you'll be behind me, and then we'll be here in the middle. Okay, so Naihanji Chodan. Right leg, left leg steps out, chumbi. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to try and mirror tonight so that you can follow along. So your left leg's going to come up, left hand in front. Inhale 1. Hands are here towards your face. Exhale down. Hands come to over the tanjun, toe tap. Then we stand up. Exhale, hands overlay here. Notice that my knees stay slightly bent even when I stand up. So like in Basai Chunbi, I'll stand straight up. In Naihanji Chodan, slight bend in the knee still. As you come down here, common mistake is to lean forward like this and then come up. Make sure your back stays erect and you just bend with the knees. Okay? So we're here. All right. And we're going to go with Hana. We're going to look and we're going to step. As we prepare here, your arm stays straight. You're going to feel your shoulder blades pull back. That's how you get the distance. It's not this, Mr. Armstrong. You're not hinging with your elbows. You're pulling back with the shoulders. And then watch my hands. Okay, my arm stays as straight as ever. And reaching here, just here with your shoulders. Okay? So from here, Hana. Make sure your feet are in line here. Right leg steps. Inhale, elbows touch, cross on bottom. Little counterwind with the hip, counterwind, open. Okay? You see my elbows sticking out. I'm working on that. Okay, you guys work on it too. So chest is open here. Now, pull the hip back. One, right chest hyper expands, and then bring the weapon to the target. Sorry, bring the target to the weapon. Okay, don't break the stance. Don't shift the weight. Now from here, pull. Each time you're going to go the opposite direction. Block. Okay, you're protecting your ribs here. Ribs are open. Break the weapon. So somebody tries to kick you, break the foot. Somebody tries to punch you, break the hand with the tip of your elbow. Then you look to the left. Okay, we're going to counterwind here. And I believe now every technique has a pivot point. Okay, so we're going to cross our arms, low block. I believe that's new from the last Kodanja Shimsa. Used to be here with the hand staying in the chamber. I believe now we're crossing. One, pull back, two. This last one is an elbow punch. Okay, so you're thinking about the elbow pushing forward rather than the knuckles going here. So think about pushing out here. That's the technique. Okay, so from here, long step. Pivot on the heel, step. Transfer weight. Look and step one. See how my left hip's pulled back? Pull back a little more, block. Make sure a nice stomp into Kima Jase. Hand right in front of the chin. Pull back, low punch. Low punch here. Okay, then here we cross, and then we're going to open. Open, here. Okay, then turn the hip. One, both hands cover, and down. Okay, hold position. Now from here, we look, left leg up, one. Make sure we stay low here, don't raise. One, and then a little bit of hip, one and two. Look, one and two. Look, ribs are open. Pull, block. Look, hammer, one, and elbow punch, two. Parallel lines. Line up with your rib cage. Line up with the shoulder in both directions. Here. 90-degree bend here. Okay? Let's go back the other way. Pull, cross, pull. Oh, I did it right. Got that elbow back. Open, pull the hip a little bit, turn, but don't shift the mass. Don't change the stance. Look to the center. Look, pull, elbow punch. Pivot, long step. Look and step. Right in front of your face. Turn, low punch. Cross, open. In line with the body, in line with the knee. You see the two lines here? This would be the same line. I'm going to put this over the knee, and this hand is in line with the shoulder. That's why you can't see it. Okay? Then from here, turn. Yeah, make sure this is palm down. Look. 1, 2. Look. 1, 2. Look. Look. Shisan, right leg recovers. Paro. Toe tap. But don't stand up all the way. Paro. All right. Okay, everybody, Chuk. Just going to show you this once. Mr. Krause. Application. Naihanji Chodan. One interpretation. Okay, so Mr. Corrales here comes in with maybe a traditional Subakdo stepping Sangnangongyak, or he could do a boxer's stepping right hook. Okay, either one. So he steps in and strikes, and one here. Just step straight out. That's your block. Okay, unbendable arm. One more time. Punch comes. One here. And then strike. Elbow. Up and over. Here. Step and take him to the floor. Okay? Don't turn. Okay, up. Okay, so side view here. Let's go from, yeah, we'll go this way. Okay, punch comes. Okay, turn. What's the best way? Turn this way. Okay, so one elbow. Then from here, no, we want to be here. Okay, so this is the block. Block one, right? Next is elbow. Next is here, right? Then here, then here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you see every technique in there? But it's just here to here. And then your walk. So all of you know this, right? And that quarter pivot, okay? That's what this is. From here, it's just here and quarter pivot. So you can quarter pivot if you want, okay? But then that cross leg stance just helps create that distance to get them then on the floor. Okay, next one. Okay, we're here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so he comes in and does the same thing, does a step and punch, and I come 1, 2. Okay, then he comes in with, I can clear this, and maybe he does another punch. Clear, same time, striking right here to the inner thigh. Okay, here, and then breaking the jaw from here. Okay, so here he strikes. 1, 2, maybe he punches again, block, strike, strike. Or if it's just one attack, 1, 2, right? You can clear that arm here, and look what that did to his nose. So then that gave me a different target. Kamsahamnida. Does that help visualize the different motions of the hyung? Okay, one interpretation only. Okay, many interpretations. Since this is an advanced class and most of you can have fun with this with application, don't look at what you're doing. Remember the definition of jase? Figure, force. Remember that? What's the figure? Don't think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Think about the figure of the form. Okay, does that make sense? Here, strike, figure. All right, let's go on. Let's do Naihanji Chodan a couple times. So everybody, chumbi. Don't watch Mr. Corrales because he's going to do it the right way. And I'm going to observe this time. So give you all some feedback. Naihanji chumbi. Unless your cameras are at the ceiling, then I'll just do the best I can. Shija. Everybody fix your arms. So they're a little drop. This one should be Myung-Chi level, and then this one should be parallel with the shoulder. Okay, paro. Do it one more time, and then we'll move on to Naihanji Idan. So everyone show. Come close so you can see. Just a couple of comments. From here, this block here, Mr. Armstrong may be a little too vertical like this. A little more out on this block. You see this angle? And then with this punch, a lot of you are going like this. And the energy is going down. Do you see that? It's like I'm punching the floor. You see here how I'm punching away from myself? So you want this type of angle reaching. Just like I would do. It's the same technique, just at a different height. Okay, so still thinking about going this way rather than down. Okay, this technique here, Mr. Coombs, and I think some others of you, from here going past center, like this. This is too far. Should be right in line with your body, and then pass. Here. Okay? All right, one more time, all together. Chumbi. Naihanji chumbi. Shija. Roll. Chumbi. Naihanji Idan. Okay, so from here, this way, right? Okay. All right, so your left leg's going to step. So the left hand is going to be on top. Okay, so first action, hana, short step. Just like a Chilsongiro, right? In fists. Then we look, lift, to here, and a turn, carry the hip, to here. Okay, this first technique, stomp kick, 45s. So not over to the side, going to be at an angle here with the block. Same elbow strike here, right? Elbow punch. Okay. Then from here, we look to the middle. This hand drops and opens low. This hand pulls back. Short step. Okay. Then from here, look, and we're just going to roll. Roll. Would understand that roll? Okay, then from here we step, turn to the other waist, turn those, keep those toes in, right? Kimajase. Hand comes to the front, hand over the fist. Feel the tightness in your tunjin, right? Here, tight, tight. Then we look, snap our head. Other angle here. Then to the front. Lift, but don't raise your head. Try and stay low. Keep that knee bent. And then elbow. This elbow comes straight across. I remember going through the ranks, I learned up and over like this. Here, straight across. Okay, hand is over the knuckles like this. Okay, if that's hard to see. That's what my hand looks like. Okay, now from here in Naihanji Idan, you will cross your arms. Cross, find that pivot point. Block. Over here, again, 45. 45s are important. So we're not coming over here to the side. It's all 45s. Okay, so here, 1, and then 2. So we push out here. Okay. Now we pivot, heel pivot. So we're going to do a long step. Long step. Step, prepare. 1. All the way back, right? Turn the hip, down. Think about that low punch, not going to the floor, but going towards the tunjin of somebody else. Okay, cross. Up and over. Over the knee, in line with the body. Carry. Reach, grab the fist, drop. Good tunjin, right? Contraction. Look. Look to the middle, reach, and step. Here, stay low. Elbow straight across. Elbow, toes in. Cross, look. 1, elbow, drive forward. Drive forward with that elbow. Heel pivot, step. Look. And again. And the only key up in the form. Okay, let me see it once, and then I'll go through it with you again. Now, Hanjidan, Mr. Krause is going to step with his left. We won't mirror this time. Shijak. Okay, we'll do it one more time. So everybody, Chuck, I'm going to give you a couple of tips. We're going to learn about this form. This is a really special form. For each hyung that you learn, think about what's the lesson? What's the hyung trying to teach you? And in this hyung, there's a lot of these techniques where there's no real hip twisting or hip shifting. And how do you generate power from this position, for example, to here? Any of you feel like this technique's pretty wimpy? Okay. What's another one? Another one is from here, right? Here. Are you just coming here, or is there any real power in especially as you come up? Right? You want to try and get that internal power. And in Naihanji, it's all about the chuk, the internal contraction of the body. Does everyone see me moving here? Right? It's like you're getting hit in the stomach, right? And you tighten those abs, everything contracts. That's what that's, I think, the main lesson of Naihanji Idan. So let's all come from this position here. Let's try this. This hand drops. I'm still seeing a lot of you going like this, as if this hand has anything to do with it, like you're slapping with both hands. That's not the case. From here, this hand just drops. Now it's still. This hand, step and turn. Okay? Then you turn again and hit. But as you hit, right? You got to feel this. And that's what's missing, right? You guys are using your arms. Some of you doing the arms right, some of you not. But in any case, most of you it's all about your arm. The arms actually is moving, but the power is all coming from the contraction of your tangent. And if you can learn that principle in Naihanji Idan, then you need to apply it in every hyung, in every technique. Every technique has that same internal contraction in it. Okay? So from here, open, tight, right? Then here, maybe harder to see, but as I step, same thing, tight. Here, here, tight. And then I release it, pops, pop, pop. And then it comes back in. And then it releases. Okay? So contract, expand, contract, expand. Let's try the whole hyung. Chumi. Left leg step. Hana. Cross. That's where it starts. Is here, right? Nothing here. Then we look. Look. Tight. Look. Look towards the left. Right hand on top. Soft step. Feel this. Feel it. Reach. Tight. And then open. Look. Reach. Tight. As that pops out, you still feel your tangent pull in, right? Pivot, heel pivot, step. 1, 2. Feel it here. Expand. Right? Here. And then you're tight, right? So now as you open, now you release that tension. Release the tension. Carry, and then feel it again. Contract the right side. Look. Now release it. Look. Contract the left side. By the way, that contraction is what maintains your balance. Here, that's where your balance is. If you're too high and you don't contract your tungen, that's when you get off balance. Come across. Cross on bottom. 1, 2. Heel pivot, long step. And then finish the jump. Okay, one more time. Naihanji Idan. 준비. 시작. Roll. Okay, show. Any questions with Naihanji Idan? Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you. Good to have you. Any others? Okay, so at this point, I think we're going to break out into groups. And let's see, it looks like Mr. Bogdanich and Mr. Knibi, you're still learning the Hyung, is that right? Okay, all right. And then Mr. Knibi, be there. Miss Jones and Mr. Coombs, you wanted to learn Naihanji Samdan, is that right? Okay. All right, so I'm going to make a breakout room then. And then we're going to move to Naihanji Samdan. Okay, so Miss Jones, Elliot, Mr. Bogdanich. We'll go and work on that one. I wish Mr. Corrales, I don't have a second device right now where he could help with that. So we've got you three there. Mr. Knibi, Elliot Jr., you're able to help everyone, right? You know the form. Yeah, you've been doing that with Eli, so. Okay, and then the rest of you are going to Naihanji Samdan. So rooms are now open. All of you can enter the breakout room for the next class, part of the class. We'll end at a couple minutes before the hour. Do you see that, Hamer Sabanim? Okay, well, we'll show you how they work. Do you see it? I want to make sure you get into your room before. So on your computer, Sabanim, do you see the invitation for you to join the room? Okay, so join that, and you're going to go into my room with Naihanji Samdan. You didn't because you're still with me. I'll move into that room once you're there. Okay, here, let me try again. I'm going to change you once. Don't do that. Breakout room 2. Okay. All right, Eli, you're done for the class because this will be Naihanji Samdan. Unless, do you want to learn it? Okay. Okay, everyone. Everyone where you want to be? That's the one. Okay, good luck. Who's going to force me to do this one backwards? I haven't done this one backwards yet. No, I'm gonna do it backwards. Let's see if I can do it. Okay. Oh, where'd Hamer Sovereign go? Oh, there he is. Okay, good. All right. So Chumbi. So it's just getting me started. Okay. So right leg's going to step. Right leg steps and open. Okay. Then from here, as you fall, you're going to close. And then once you feel that connection to the earth, you open. Okay. Arms are in line with the shoulders. You see that timing here? Okay. Make sure you get that. Here, contract, and then open. Kimajase. Okay, then here, contract, open again. Now, strike, strike, strike. Okay. Let's see. Sorry. Guys are going to have to, maybe I can't do this. I'm going to make a mistake. I know it. We'll try again. Oh, yeah. Hamer Sovereign, you give me the cues. Okay, we'll get through this together. Okay, Hana. 1, 2. Here. Heel pivot. Step. And this is where we step, right? Here. So we're going to step. Open. Oh, yep. Yeah, here. Yep, here. Heel pivot. Pro. Sure. Now, Hanji Samdan's a special hyung. Many of us, well, me, I don't know about others, but I went up until I was still in Odon doing this form wrong. And it's interesting. We always said, I think Whitcomb Sovereign, I think he was doing it wrong too. I don't know if all of Region 8, Hamer Sovereign, I don't know about if you were part of this goof up, but we all thought the book was wrong. And we always talked about it. Do you remember that? And we'd actually look at the book and say, yeah, they added some extra moves or something. And you don't look at the book in Naihanji Samdan because it's wrong. And, you know, that you saw where I messed up. That's where, because we used to, on that second one, right? We'd go here, and then we'd go straight into this, right? Instead of doing it again here, this. That was always left out. And I just barely made that change like a few years ago. Okay, so yeah, Hamer Sovinen was way ahead of me on that one. But it was interesting, you know. So that there's a little bit of history. Sorry, my students, for setting the low expectation there, but that's how it goes. So let's go through the Hyung again. Do you remember what we learned about with Naihanji Idan? That contraction, that core contraction. If you can't do that by the time you start learning Naihanji Samdan, might as well just go home. Like, the form will not work. Okay, I mean, think about it. You're in one spot. You're here, right? And then you're to this position, and then you got to do a punch from here. Okay, if you can't figure out how to contract, right, and make that a powerful strike, then your form's not going to look right. It's not going to feel right. It's going to feel like, what am I doing? So think less about what your arms are doing, and just focus on that contraction expansion that we've been working on today. Okay, so 준비. Okay, so here, 1, cross. Okay, here, right, tight, and then open it, tight, right, and then pull. This time we're not going to reach as much. It's going to be a little faster. Back, and then directly out. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, here. You see? Yeah, it's fast. It's just pull and push. So. Okay, here. 1, 2. I don't even think about this as 1. From here, I think about, I just do a punch. Punch. And then from here, you pull back, elbow next to the hip. See how my palm's down still? And then uppercut. Here. So from here, pull the hip, and then push, right? Contract, and then expansion. That's how you get the power. Okay, here. So from here, here. 1. Don't think about the twist so much. Just here, hip, and then drive from the waist. Here. Okay, then we look. Step. Go ahead. Heel pivot step, right? Long step. Step. Carry, and now to carry that low block, from here, I like to get a little whip. So then elbow's going to bend just a little bit. So then it can straighten as I go down. Pull. And Bruce Lee's 3-inch punch. Right? Here. Because here the elbow's bent a little bit. And so from here you pull and push. Now, about half of us go like this, and half of us go like this. Okay? I go like this. And the last time I took a class with the TAC, they were doing it. They were doing it like this. Oh, okay, yeah, there, this way. Okay, so I think this is the way that we're doing it. But don't be surprised if you see people going like that. Okay, a lot of people still do that, and who knows what we're going to do next year. So we'll see. Okay, so 2, and then it's Tanjun up and down. Right? So it's a little arm flick, bending in the elbow, but it's motivated by the waist. And so there's a lot of power there. And then on impact, you're going to again feel that tightening of the Tanjun. I keep coming back to it. It's that important. Okay, then we look. Did you see how fast that was? Okay, from here it's just slow. It's 1, 2, cover, and then 3. Okay, here, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So in Pyongan Idan, I'd go like this and reach with this hand. In Pyongan Naihanji Samdan, I don't move my arm. 1, 2. Okay. Then 1, 2. And we've done all the techniques now. Now we just have to remember the pattern. We'll see if I can. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then here we step, right? Don't we step? Yeah, step. See, I still get confused. 1, open, down. Then we do it again. Okay. 1. Notice as I do that, this arm extends. 2, 3. Right? Okay. So here. Look. Step. Lift. Circle start at the Tanjun. Look. Pull. See that? Kind of a rock. 1, 2. Rock. Here. Rock. Rock. Okay. So in Naihanji Idan, we'd go like this, right? This hand would be easy, but here we're going this way. So there's just a little bit of here, but it's just open from the chest. Open from the chest. Elbow pushes. Heel pivot, long step. Remember, out forward, not down. Cross, open. Watch the leaning, Mr. Armstrong. And then pull. Show. Okay, go back, Tanjun. Yes, sir. I think I was on the line, actually. How do you do it? That doesn't mean anything. Let's see. Let's see. Assuming the book's right. Yeah. Yeah, it was it. Yeah. Oh, funny. It says perform a right open hand pseudo to the right side of the upper body. So the Kwanjung Nim is on that side, the side line. So let's make that change, because I think you're right. When I did it full speed, I just naturally went over here too. So that's correct. Here, not 45, over here. There. I'm guessing I was wrong on that. No, that's why we're doing this. Yeah. So in Naihanji, it says the same thing. Yes. So let's make sure that all the pseudos in the Naihanji are happening to the side of the body here, not to the 45. Okay. Thank you. Yes, sir. Are you calling me on the issue I have? Thank you, sir. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I warned you at the beginning of class, do what I say, not what I do. Okay. So yeah, on all those techniques, wherever in the entire form, you should never have your elbow out like this. So if I'm ever like that, don't do what I'm doing. It should always be back here. I don't know. For me, that's so hard to get my chest expanded that much to get the elbow there. But that's what you want. Okay. Don't have that little chicken wing out here. Yep. That's it, Mr. Armstrong. Good. Great question. Okay. Thank you. Who else? Okay. Ms. Gold, no worries, but I'd love to give you some corrections and some feedback too. If you'd like to receive any, you're happy to turn on your camera, or you can remain as you are. But let's, in either case, let's see it now and I'll watch and give you all some feedback. Okay, so Chumbi Jase. Okay, can you get through it? Okay, so now you're at the same level as them. Okay, Chumbi. So you'll have to watch up there. See if you can get through it. Shija. Keporo. Hey, Shul. Man, isn't that a hard form? Let's see, we're at 7 o'clock. So I'm going to close the other breakout room. We're going to come together. If any of you would like to stick around, I'd love to give a little more feedback on Naihanji Samdan to each of you individually. So, but let's be respectful of time. So I'll see you in the main room.